the longest running festival in Hampton Roads, and it's the only one in the U.S. that honors the nations of the NATO alliance.
NATO Fest kicks off this weekend, and downtown Norfolk is already busy. 10 on your side's Art Con is there.
Art, a lot of sights and sounds, I hear.
Yeah, I got to tell you, it's pretty cool. We're at Scope Plaza, which is ground zero for the start of NATO Fest. This is the flag-raising event where representatives from each of the 28 member nations get to fly their country's colors and help the city of Norfolk celebrate its international community and the long-standing relationship this city's had with NATO. This morning, I got to have breakfast with NATO's top commander in the United States, and he shared with me some interesting perspectives on the challenges facing the alliance in this uncertain world we live in.
The Allied Command transformation is the only NATO command in North America and the only permanent NATO headquarters outside of Europe. Although it was formed just 10 years ago, its roots in Norfolk go back to April of 1954.
A very interesting part of history, ICT has inherited from the former Supreme Allied Commander for Atlantic.
French General Jean-Paul Palomares is the top NATO commander in the United States. He says just about all of the 28 member nations are confronting budget constraints for defense spending, but the alliance is concerned about the impact sequestration in the U.S. could have on the future of NATO.
When it is the biggest ally, the biggest contributor to NATO, it's even more worrying.
Cuts to defense spending across the alliance are why NATO developed the Smart Defense Initiative, a plan that calls for member nations to pool resources and do more with less.
Not only in terms of equipment, but for training, for sustainment, for logistics, for medical support, everything which is really crucial for the success of future NATO operations.
The Ballistic Missile Defense Initiative is one of the cornerstones of smart defense. The U.S., with its Aegis destroyers, has provided the lion's share of the alliance BMD capabilities. General Palomares, though, says the other member nations must do their share to form an effective shield against this growing threat.
That we build together the sensors, and that we developed together as well the command control means to be able to use these assets.
Yeah, General Palomares, a very gracious host. It's interesting to note that NATO's European headquarters is headed up by an American military officer. Now, there are a lot of events on the schedule for NATO Fest this weekend, including a parade tomorrow. For a complete schedule of all the events, just go to wavy.com and click on the link to this story. Reporting live from downtown Norfolk, Art Con, 10 on your side.